want to bring communities and generations together through making theatre. We live in a densely populated area, but there are rarely opportunities for older people to get to know new people, particularly young people. So creating a performance provides perhaps a unique opportunity for a group of diverse people to work together towards a common goal. Well, our starting point is always people's own stories and experiences. We want to hear their stories and make shows that are relevant to them. In the past year, we've worked in a sheltered accommodation block at Lime Tree Court and also with Caribbean elders in Stoke Newington.
I've been working for St Joseph's Hospice as a volunteer, both inside the hospice and outside at a place called Lime Tree Court, where we have regular coffee mornings, and I also work as a volunteer gardener. The key thing was that the residents, once they'd heard each other's life stories, have since then gone on much better than they were before.
And we were very pleased for them to share their stories, the members sitting around the table with the Media Theatre who facilitated it. And it was very good to hear each of the members, the stories from each of the islands.
Listen to the love stories. Are so lovely.
And we took the stories, our members' stories, to the Windrush Celebration Day at Stoke Newington Town Hall. 5 of our members took part. We told Mercy's stories through the letters and songs and dancing.
It was all about the migration from Jamaica, Mercy traveling from Jamaica to the UK, which was very sad for her at first, leaving her family. And she ended up meeting a nice people who encouraged her, and she was sending letters and stuff back home to her friend.
I read one of the letters. I was surprised of myself because I am a very shy person. I don't like being in public. But I had the confidence in myself, and I was quite pleased.
Our core group of older performers have been doing shows at lunch and social clubs for a few years. This year we adapted Cinderella, a pantomime, but Cindy was 63 and carer looking after her dad.
Who make our borough tick. Let's drink a toast to the army of Cindy's who make the world go round.
I love playing Cinderella. It was really great. It was an opportunity of a lifetime to play this wonderful character wearing wonderful clothes when she goes to the ball. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And being an older person, how many chances do you get to play Cinderella? It was great.
And we started off creating characters based on, if Cinderella was alive now, who would she be? And because these are archetypes in these pantomimes, Cinderella herself was by quite a lot of people, they decided she was a carer.
Our audiences love to join in, so interaction is very important.
Oh no, we don't. Oh yes, you do. Oh no, we don't.
Makes everyone happy, doesn't it?
It was a real letting go of emotion.
Of course, Cinderella has to have magic, but the person who became the fairy godmother was the district nurse who came round every day, and it was about kindness as much as about magic. So this was how perfectly ordinary things in ordinary life, stories and experiences that all of our participants would have had, translated so neatly into this archetypal pantomime.
Our next challenge was to make a show for young people.
Yummy, yum, yum. What's this for my tum? A pretty little lady waiting by my tree, tied to the wood. Jolly, jolly, jolly good. Oh, no, you don't, you bully.
We didn't want to just do the usual thing, do reminiscences, play to the usual stereotypes of older people. So George and the Dragon gave us an opportunity to entertain the children who were going to watch it, and also gave us an opportunity to bring in environmental issues and bring it right up to date, really, bang up to date for people.
We liked the story very much because it had very strong characters, very interesting and powerful situations. There were elements of democracy in how the villagers selected the next victim for the dragon. And we also wanted to look into the question of why was the dragon eating people in the first place?
Why does he eat people? Because he's nasty. I'm ready for lunch.
He is a nice character, although he does a lot of roaring, but there's no vegetation for him to eat, so he has to eat people. And I think he's so totally misunderstood.
Well, I loved it. I was the old oak tree in the George and the Dragon play, and when I came up out of the oak tree, first of all, they were all really scared, and then they started smiling at least, and then right at the end, when we did the feedback sessions where all the actors got chairs and sat in front of the children that were on the floor, a few of them at least came up to me and said, we really like trees. We would love to have been the old oak tree.
We were really keen to give the actors increasing opportunities to be as professional and as engaged with making full-on theatre as possible. So with Cinderella, we started out with they simply had a script and a few bits of costume. By the time we came to George and the Dragon, it was a fully realised, full production team with props and costumes, which enabled them even further to enter into the whole beautiful thing about being an actor and leaving yourself to one side.
Of 9 adults performed George and the Dragon in 6 primary schools, which went down a storm. And at the end of the show, we asked the young people, what do you think might happen next? So the idea for this play has come out of the ideas that were shared with us by the young people at 6 primary schools.
He was skinny and weak, but George fought the dragon.
The summit project was about George and the Dragon, and I really liked the way Sharon performed the dragon.
Chips and crisps, yum yum, popcorn peas, toffee chocolate yummy. Oh my tummy, oh my tummy.
It was all about when all the adults did George and the Dragon, and we were just like recreating part. We were just making a part 2 of it, and it was really fun making part 2.
Quite a lot about the young people when they came for the part 2 of the show, which is where the actual young people came in for a week and worked with us and took part in it and acted and learnt their lines, which was brilliant. And they sang and they danced, and we joined in with them, and they all had a quite wonderful experience, I think, at the end of it, and they were all bursting with enthusiasm all week.
I've never worked with other people before. It didn't really change my views, but it did say that older people don't just lie around all day.
It took the Romans to show up to make the people of Cyrene and the dragons unite against an outside enemy, to begin to give them a sense of we'll really work together now and make a tolerant society. I enjoyed the fact that there was a mutual, perhaps a bit of a distance to start with and a bit of uncertainty on both sides, but that very quickly disappeared because there was a common purpose. Everybody in this project was an actor, and therefore they were completely equal in the task that they were taking on.
I think the project's really brought older and younger people together. It's interesting that the theme of the final piece was actually about climate change, and that the older people felt as passionately about that and about the future.
I enjoyed meeting new people, meeting the older people, making new friends about the Dragon show. It really made me think that Hackney is a good community, and old people also capable of can do more stuff.
I want chocolate.
Well, how do you like it? How do you like it?
More.
How do you like it? How do you like it? Hello, Jack. What would you like to do?
I want toffees.
But I'm still hungry. But that's it. There's nothing left.
if we were doing it again next year, would you want to do a project like that again?
Yes, I'd love to.
My next door neighbour has a maybe 5-year-old boy who would never ever speak to me before. I don't know whether he's shy of me or scared of me, but I came out of my flat after we performed at his school, but he said, "You were in my school and we heard that you were in a show and that you were the old oak tree, and what were you doing there? What was it all about?" And he spoke to me. There's one person in the block of flats that I live in who become interested in me because
we grow flowers, we grow